Greetings and welcome to a beautiful day here on the Darling Downs. Yesterday went really well. I went on the hike to Bald Rock with my friend. He came down from Toowoomba. We both studied at the same university. He's in his final year now. It's really good. It went really well. Like, I usually prefer doing things on my own, and I like to do hikes on my own, but no, it is good to do it with other people as well. I'm really thinking down the line I might indeed start a hiking group. Because where I grew up on the Gold Coast, there's a lot of hiking's pretty big down there, and there's quite a few hiking groups there. But this region where I live, I really don't know of any hiking groups. I've tried to look for some, but I haven't found any. So starting like a Darling Downs hiking group, that is something I'm open to down the line. As we'll see, at the moment I'm very much focused on employment as a ranger. It's not the old job, with the ranger stuff. I'll update you when I get an outcome with that. I'm just waiting to hear back from a few places. But anyway, I wanted to talk about setting boundaries. So I've been trying to organize to do this hike with this guy for like a few weeks now, but it was like tricky with like timing and because I work different days that he works, and of course he's still studying as well, so it was hard to like organize a time. But anyway, we were both off yesterday, Tuesday, so that worked. I organized that last week, and now then went ahead. I took him to showing him Bald Rock, which is like one of the largest granite domes in the southern hemisphere, and it was really good. Just showed him a bit around the local area. He's fairly new to this region, so I enjoyed that. I want to talk a bit about setting boundaries, the importance of setting boundaries, because that's something that I have historically struggled with. Just setting boundaries and sticking by them. So yesterday, like in the morning, 5 minutes to 8, like this guy's just about to show up, and then I'm going to go take him to Bald Rock. I get a text from my boss. Basically, he says, okay, are you able to, are you able to work today? The person who's meant to be on just called in sick. Now, ordinarily in the past, what I would have done is I would have just, I've got to cancel the plans with this guy and I've got to go work today. I would have done that. In the past, I would have done that because I'm always like trying to like show that I'm always available and show that I'm just the good little worker. Like I've done that in the past. And what I've realized over time is to a degree you want to like do your job well, like fulfill all the requirements, do your job to a good standard, all that, but don't go overboard. Don't go out, don't sacrifice, don't just sacrifice all your time and energy for, say, a job. Don't make a job your entire focus in life, because at the end of the day, like, I learned this especially during COVID times, like, the vast majority of workplaces, employers don't care about you. You are just a number. You're just a number, especially in like the larger corporation. If it's like a small family-owned business, might be a bit different, but still, look, I've learned over time to set proper boundaries with this sort of stuff. And look, ordinarily, like if I had nothing else going on, I would have said, okay, sure, I could come in and work. I've done that plenty of times where I've covered shifts and I said, yes, all right, I'll come in and work. Blah, blah, blah. And in the past, I would have done that again and said, yes, I would have come in. But then I thought, you know what? No, this guy's almost here. He has to drive like 2 hours to get to my place. I'm not canceling on him on this day. Like he's almost there. He's almost at where I live. Driving 2 hours to get in. He ordinarily worked Tuesdays as well, but he swapped days around and all that. So look, I'm not canceling on him just like that. So anyway, I basically just said, look, sorry, I could have done any other day, but I've already made plans for today, so on and so forth. Basically that's what I said to my boss, and then he's like, all right. So that's what I did. And in the past, I would never have dared do stuff like that, where it's like, all this, but now I decided, you know what? No, I've made this plan already in advance, and look, sorry, he's gonna have to find someone else for the day. There's other people available. Yeah, like I said, any other day I would have done. Any other day I could have done, but on this particular day I've already made plans. Sorry. So yeah, there. I said it clear. I said it plain and simple. I set the boundary, and yeah, I feel good afterwards. I really do. I really do. Like, yeah, there's been some like in the past, for instance, there was like several times where there was like mistakes made in the rostering and all this stuff, and then I was always called on to go and like fill in shifts and all that. And I've always done that in the past, but over time I've learned, like, don't sacrifice your personal life for the sake of a job, right? Don't do that. Don't do that. It's almost never worth it. Like, yeah, I get it, especially when you first start a job, you want to sort of prove that you're reliable and all that, but my approach is more so like, yes, do the work to a good standard, work the hours you're set, do the work to a good standard, and then just let your work speak for itself. Don't be a people pleaser. That just never works. Because the more you try to please people and all that, and just go like beyond, like, stick to your job description, do the job to a good standard, don't slack off or anything, but yeah, do that, but then don't do anything more. Like, don't work overtime, don't do stuff that is beyond your job description, or stuff that you're not paid for. Like, know your worth and stick by it. Essentially, yeah, set those boundaries. Like, in the past, I've always been weak on that, and I let myself be taken advantage of. Well, not anymore. Now it's much easier for me. I set boundaries and I stick by them, and I found that over time, like, that actually tends to work a lot better. Like, people pleasers and people who are pushovers that are easy to control, no one really respects these people at the end of the day. They might think that, okay, if they bend over and just do everything you say and all that, like, that they're going to be better respected and well received. It's almost never the case. Most of the time, they're just then viewed as, oh, weak, and okay, I can control this person, so on and so forth. It's the same way that governments look at, the average population, essentially. Like it's the same during COVID, for instance. People would have thought, okay, I can comply with all these restrictions, and then it'll go away. I'll get out of it. No, that's not how it works. The more you complied, the more they realize, we can push harder. So, yeah, that's the thing. That's the way these things work, right? So anyway, that's an important lesson I've had to learn over time, and yeah, it's something that I wouldn't change now. Like, just set the boundaries, stick by them, and know your worth. Like, any other day I would have said yes, but that particular day I had to say no yesterday, and I'm glad I did, because when the guy showed up, he's like, oh yeah, by the way, it's my birthday. I didn't even know it. I haven't known him for that long, right? And it turns out it was his birthday, right? And he's from a migrant background. He's fairly new to Australia, only been here like 2 years, and he's just moved to this region, studying same uni as me and all that, new to the country, and yeah, he basically had no one to celebrate with. So that's good. I was glad I could take him out for a hike on his birthday. He's very interested to learn more about Australian nature and our way of life. It's funny. It's funny as well. He's from Pakistan, right? And yeah, it's funny. We come from different backgrounds, different faiths. Like, he's Muslim, and anyway, I told him a lot about Australian culture, way of life, all that. It's interesting. He's very interested in that stuff. Like, I of course study environmental science, so I was able to tell him a lot about the nature here. He's very interested in that stuff, and yeah, he's studying agricultural science. So yeah, fairly similar things to what I'm doing, and yeah. Anyway, so what today? I had something on my mind. It's not. It'll come back to me. So yeah. Anyway, it's a nice day. Sun's out for now. We'll see what happens with this cloud. It's very windy at the moment. What did I want to say? Right, it was on the tip of my tongue, right? I want to say something. So, I did. I wanted to say. So yeah, anyway, on the drive home, right, I'm just playing music in the car, and and then he just randomly says, "Oh, by the way, never heard the Australian anthem. What does that sound like?" So anyway, I play the anthem for him. I play the play our national anthem for him. So yeah, I was just playing random. So yeah, it's interesting. It was interesting to learn more about Australia. I play the anthem for him, and yeah. Anyway, look, it's good. Turned into a good day. Setting boundaries, all this, like set the boundaries. Just stick by it. And anyway, let's talk a bit more. And yeah, I remember now. I want to talk also more about sport. Yes, sport. So yeah, I talked yesterday about why I don't care about the World Cup, and I stand by everything I said on that. And yeah, gonna have to expand that as well. This is going to basically fellow Australians will pretty much crucify me for saying this, but I don't care about state of origin. I don't care about state of origin. Now that's like a very, very controversial thing to say. Almost no one overseas will know what state of origin is. Basically, state of origin, Australian football, AFL. We have such a thing as well. It's not of course, most of the world knows football, right? Football, soccer for you Americans. Most of the world knows that as football. Australia, it's a mix. Sometimes we tend to call football soccer as well. Because anyway, we have what's such a thing as AFL, Australian football, footy. And yeah, state of origin is on. Basically, it is Queensland versus New South Wales. State of origin, New South Wales is the Blues. Queensland, we're the Maroons, right? Maroons. State of origin. And yeah, there's quite a big rivalry between Queensland and New South Wales, and state of origin is really where it all comes to the boiling point, essentially. It all does. But ultimately, look, I don't care about state of origin either. Like, this is at the moment, like, people around, like, this is like all they care about. This is their lifeblood at the moment, state of origin. They live and die for state of origin. They support their team. And look, once again, I'll clarify, I have nothing against sport. I have nothing against if you're into football, soccer, the World Cup. Nothing against if you're into state of origin, like AFL. No issue. But I don't know. It's just very humorous to me how much people care about this sort of stuff. I just can't bring myself to care so much about it. Like, I'm like, okay, sure, I'm a Queenslander, so I wish the Maroons all the best. But at the end of the day, whoever plays better is gonna win. Done. Maroons may win, Blues may win, but people get so attached to this sort of stuff. It's funny. Like, like staying up super late or waking up super early just to watch people kick a ball, basically. It's just, I don't know, it's pretty funny to me. Like any other event, like, they would never do the stuff like that for. Like, so in the past, like, I've done like overnight hikes as well. Back when I was doing the Kokoda youth program, I would do I have to do overnight hikes and all this, long overnight hikes, and people would say I'm crazy for doing that. What's crazier? Doing like an overnight hike and like endurance event, pushing yourself, and yeah, getting to like do something you enjoy, like a hike, or just waking up to like sit in front of a television and just watch sport. I don't know. I always just thought, why people get so caught up like watching sport and all this, like, just why not just go play the sport? Like, I think, yeah, if you have some friends, you're into the sport, go out and play the sport. Like, go out, play AFL, play cricket, play basketball, whatever it is. I just don't get how people get so attached to this sort of stuff. And then, of course, also treating sports stars, treating them pretty much as gods. Like, some of these sports stars, sports celebrities, they're pretty much treated like gods. They turn into godlike figures, and I don't like that. Like, I don't think many of them, I don't think they like that either. Like, they're just human, like anyone else. They're really good at what they do. Like, I have the utmost respect for people who are genuinely talented. They're really good at what they do. Some of these sporting people, they're way better than I could ever be. And look, a lot of respect for that. I respect people, they're good at what they do, and they pursue a career in that. I have a lot of respect for that. But I never would idolize these people. In terms of my favorite sportsman of all time, I don't know all time really, but sportsman of the current day, my favorite is Novak Djokovic. Yeah, Novak Djokovic. If you're into tennis, you will definitely have heard of him. He's probably one of, if not the best tennis player in the world, especially back during COVID time. And the reason I respect Djokovic so much and I really look up to him, I don't idolize him as a godlike figure, but I really look up to, say, Novak Djokovic, because he set boundaries and he stood by his principles when it came to COVID. So if you've heard of Australia during COVID times, how harsh the restrictions were and what was going on, and if you're from overseas, there's a high chance you might have heard about this Djokovic guy. Basically, Serbian tennis player, one of, if not the best tennis player in the world, especially at the time. Like he's won many awards, championships, all that. And yeah, anyway, look, I'm not really into tennis as such, and I don't really idolize him because of the tennis, but I look up to him, I respect him because of the stance he took during COVID. So, for example, he did not get the COVID jab, and he refused to abide by those restrictions. And when it, like, at the time, it was like during just at the tail end of COVID, pretty much. Australia still had many restrictions going, while most of the world had already opened up. And basically, he wanted to come down to Melbourne to play in. I didn't remember what it was, but he flew into Melbourne basically, and it looked like it was all going to go ahead and all that. But there was some miscommunication basically, and yeah, long story short, he was not let into the country because. And pretty much deported because he did not have the COVID vaccine. You could not enter Australia if you didn't have a COVID jab. You couldn't do anything even during that time. I know because I didn't get the jab at the time. And look, it wasn't really about whether you supported getting the jab or not. Like, I couldn't care less if people would choose. Like, it's got back down to it. Like, it has to be a personal choice. And that's even what Djokovic said. He's like, I don't care whether people get the jab or not, but it has to be a personal choice. And like in an interview after all this, when he was refused entering into Australia, like he was asked by a journalist, like, is this a hill you're willing to die on? Like he was like very talented, best tennis player, but anyway, back then like, he was not able to even play the tennis because he didn't get the COVID jab. And the journalist asked him, like, is this the hill you're going to die on? Are you willing to give up being the world's best tennis player for the sake of not abiding by these COVID restrictions and not getting the jab? And he's like, yep, this is the hill I'm willing to die. This is the hill I'm willing to die on. These are my principles. I'll stand by it. And as a result, he wasn't able to play. And then the year after that, he came back to Melbourne actually afterwards when the restrictions were lifted, and he smashed the record and he basically won. And the following year he came back and he won championships. That's stuff like that. I do see sports people. If they have principles, they stand by it. Like I respect that. And there's also another case. I'll give another example. So I'm saying this. I'm not against sports people. Another guy I really like, Israel Folau. You wouldn't have heard of him unless you're Aussie. But Israel Folau, basically, he's an Australian sportsman. He's from the rugby, I believe. See, I don't even remember what was that. Is it AFL or rugby? One of those. I think it's might be rugby even. It might be a rugby player. It might be AFL. See, I don't even know. I don't even pay attention to the stuff like that. All I know is Israel Folau, for instance. He's very vocal about his Christian faith, and this was during times of like when gay marriage was legalized in Australia, and he was basically speaking out on his beliefs, why he's against LGBT and all this stuff. And he just basically what he does is like quote the Bible and all this stuff, right? And as a result, he was very much crucified and kicked off the team, right? He was cancelled, right? But again, he was willing to give that up to stand by his principles. So anyway, this is just good examples, getting back to connecting it with sport as well. And just anyway, I respect people who they have their beliefs, they have their principles, and they stick by it. Even if I might disagree personally with certain things that they say, it's like I'll respect people who have their beliefs and stick by it, and just don't go along with what the mob does and what the mob says. But yeah, especially Djokovic, like because of his stance during COVID. Like I don't care if anyone from during that time. I don't care if what your views are on COVID or the jab or anything like that. It's like what I care about is having that choice, right? This is what pisses me off so much You know, everyone's like, especially people on the left, you know, they're always like, oh, my body, my choice, blah, 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 when it comes to like abortion. But when it came to like COVID and the COVID jab, they were utterly silent. Utterly silent. What the hell happened to my body, my choice then, huh? What happened to my body, my choice then? So yeah, I just hate hypocrisy. I hate it when people are inconsistent. Like I respect people when they are consistent, when they have principles and stick by it. So that's just an example. Anyway, that's it for this one. Just set your boundaries and stick by them. That's it. See you on the next one.